Alright guys, this is your boy Lago and Half Enduro, and I'm doing this video. Happy 4th of July. It's gonna go 4th of July anyway. Hope y'all going out there. Me and my family, we going out to my wife's family and have a good old barbecue with about 50 people. So we're gonna be partying and stuff like that. So I'm gonna get my gaming after I do this video. I'm gonna do my gaming and then take a little nap, head up there and enjoy ourselves. And I hope you guys enjoying y'all 4th of July weekend as well. Okay, with that said, let's get out to the nitty gritty. I had a video that was gonna that I was gonna do this video talking specifically about something, but again, it'll be up. So I'm not gonna premiere these. It's gonna just go up on the channel. Hopefully you guys watch it and see what's going on. So this whole Brazil versus Nintendo. I will say this right up front, then we'll get deeper into it, and then you're gonna find out because again, everybody's hitting Nintendo when other consoles do it, but again, it's the rage bait. It's the rage bait. So let me stand this up front for anybody new. Don't buy Switch 2, don't buy Switch 1, don't buy PS4, don't buy PS5, don't buy Xbox One S, whatever. It's your money. If you don't like it, don't buy it. If you like it, buy it. I am a Nintendo fan, but I don't tell people to buy the console. The only two things I would say I tell people to buy as a Nintendo fan is one, that new Switch 2 Pro controller is pretty nice. If you want a good one, if you want a good controller, get that. If you want a good controller, if you want it, if you don't want it, that's all right. And of course, if you're going to what was I gonna say? And when it comes to consumer, I am a consumer Metroid. So I'll admit to that. I'm a customer in the majority of everything else, but I'm a consumer Metroid. If you're one of those gamers who talk shit and don't and but want Metroid to do this, but then you don't buy Metroid, I got a problem with you. Okay, that's that. But buy Metroid. Those are the two things I consume. Those are the two things I would tell everybody to buy. Other than that, speak with your wallet. If you want more physical game, you should buy more physical games instead of digital games. But we find out more and more people don't want to buy digital physical games. So what do you expect? Anyway, that's that. That's out of the way. Then I'm gonna put two more requisites on here so you can understand what. And I'm This is gonna tell you how it's happening. One, Brazil versus Nintendo is not a big story. It is not. It's not a big story as people think it is. The rage baiters and most gamers are just saying this because they look for any morsel of video to stop to make Nintendo look bad, or whatever. And it's so weird to be rage baiting. Again, I do not have an Xbox console, and I don't rage bait against Xbox. I talk the facts, as you can see. I even talked about the hopes. I did a video about I hope Xbox does good in the next generation, but we already done. Then one day later, Xbox just shit the bed. I'm not see that's the difference between me and most of these Nintendo, like a Nintendo or somebody angry guy and all these dumbass other YouTubers. That's the difference. I want my competition to do well. But if they done dumb decisions, they do dumb decisions. Factual dumb decisions. Not no stupid stuff like this. Anyway, going back. Nintendo versus Brazil is not a big deal. All right. One, they're not gonna win the lawsuit. And if they win the lawsuit in Brazil, because they only affect Brazil, it won't affect the world. It won't affect Nintendo's bottom dollar. Not many people. Look, I've been to Brazil myself. Party, had fun, did carnival down there, and party up like a theme back in 2004, 2010. I enjoyed it. Love the football. Love the women. Love all the music. Was the vibes was good. But here's the thing: not many people buy Nintendo consoles and games in Brazil. That's the sucky part. They don't. So this is what less than 1% of Nintendo sales. So it's not gonna hurt them as much as if they win the lawsuit in Brazil. That's what it is. So it's basically a win-win situation. It's not nothing. I would not throw money at it. Like, and I guarantee Nintendo ain't gonna throw money at it to fight. They're gonna go to the lawsuit, but they're not gonna like, and to see people in other countries, and more closely in America, and talk about, oh, this is a big thing, a big deal. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Let's not do that. Okay. Anyway, on to the subject proper. We're talking about the ban. Be careful buying secondhand switches from people because people are assholes. Because they try to do something stupid with a switch, then they get banned, and then they try to sell it off. Because sometimes you're like, wait a minute, why are they selling a switch for less than what it is? Something's wrong. If you see a switch that's selling less than the $400, the $450, with everything, whatever, secondhand market, be careful of that because that might be a brick switch. Now here's the problem, and I'll tell anybody out there, and it's in this video as well too. Me, liar, me. I'm not talking about anybody else. I'm talking about me myself. Not even Katie, who's the second half of this channel. I would not mind a brick switch. Why? Because it would not hurt me at all. Other than try to update games and stuff. If I hopefully, and the way I choose games, I don't really need that per se. But a brick switch doesn't mean you can't play games on the Switch. It just means you cannot go on the internet to do the eShop and get updates. That's what a brick switch is. You can still take your console, your game, put in the cartridge inside in the cartridge, and still play the game. Which is like how gaming consoles were back in the 90s. Go figure. But you just can't buy it from the eShop. You just can't get updates of the games to fix patches and stuff like that. That part is kind of sucky, but you can still play the game. That would be no problem for me because the games I buy really don't need that much patches. Just saying. For me. And it's funny, I was telling this story to my wife, and she's like, why don't people just buy the console for what it's for? I buy a chair for a chair. I buy a gun to be that. If I use it illegally, I could go to jail. Duh. I'm like, and that's my wife saying that. And that's why I said, I know. I buy a PlayStation console to play PlayStation games. I don't buy to play Xbox games. I don't buy to hack it. I don't buy to get multiple games to scam the people out of the gaming industry. Because again, if you scam the money from the guys, they can't make the games you want. So it's kind of like a lose-lose situation in there. It's kind of stupid, but gamers on YouTube, and they don't have common, simple sense. Sorry, simple chipset. No, it is. They don't have simple sense at all. Y'all stupid. Well, I bought it. I could do whatever I want with it. Well, go ahead. Go ahead and buy it. But you're not gonna use the internet to make a console so you can steal games and mod a game to steal games from Nintendo and any other thing. That's just what they're not gonna do. If you use it the way you bought it for, yeah, then you're good. You buy a car to drive from point A to point B. But if you use your car as a weapon, you're gonna go to jail. People get that. Anyway, let's get into the video proper.
Helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe if you're new here. Okay, so let's rewind a bit. You might remember a while back, I made a video about the MIG switch. For those who aren't familiar, it's a device that essentially allows you to create backups of your own physical game cartridges. The idea is that each legitimate...
And here's the problem with it. I have no problem with the MIG switch if you make a backup copy of the game and you can play it and stuff. The problem is human beings are greedy, insufferable, evil sons of bitches. And they're gonna sell the game. They're gonna sell stuff. They're gonna make it worth. They always make it worse for other people. That's just how it is.
Game cartridge has a unique identifier.
Yes.
And the MIG switch works by using these unique IDs from your own games. But here's where a really interesting question came up in the comment section. And it sparked a lot of thought for me. Someone asked, hey, what if you rent a game, dump it using a MIG switch, then return it? If someone else then plays...
There you go. That's a great question, my friend. Thank you. And this YouTuber is One Shot Buzz. Not a big YouTuber, but I've learned literally like that smaller YouTubers most of the time, majority of the time, those who try to make up are the more honest and more straightforward people before they become big and turn into assholes. As we see with the video I did about whatever average gamer or whatever he was when he's like, "Oh, Switch is horrible, Switch is bad, Switch is this." Again, I told that story to my wife, and showed it to my wife. She was laughing her ass off. She was like, "Wait!" And he went and bought the Switch. Why? How greedy? Thank you. I said that is magic word. How greedy? Because they don't care.
That same physical game and your Switch gets banned, how do you avoid that? It's a
Exactly.
tricky question, right? Because
Exactly.
technically, to play a legitimate game, the physical cartridge needs to be with your console. This got me thinking a lot about the potential ramifications, especially with the upcoming Nintendo Switch 2 generation. It seems Nintendo has really stepped up its game. They found a way to detect these unauthorized cartridges like the MIG Switch, and when they do, the consequences are pretty severe. We're
Yep.
talking about your Nintendo Switch getting a total ban from online play, from accessing their servers, and you'll typically see a specific error code pop up. Now, here's where it gets really problematic. Some of these systems, once they're hit with that ban, become incredibly limited. You might not be able to access the Nintendo eShop, download updates, or even use many of the system's core features. And get this, if you try to do a factory reset on a banned system, you might not even be able to sign into a Nintendo account to get it fully functional again.
Okay. Again, going back down to just it's not the features, mostly online features. So yeah. So if you need to set up the online to and I've seen this in people breaking down the Switch. So here's the thing: you do that, you're gonna get banned. Okay. And because you want to mod your Switch to rip games and stuff off online, you need internet to do it. Nintendo put in a kill switch in the Switch 2 that that if you remove the online module, it also bans it. It also bricks it. I mean, not bans it, bricks it. So there you go. There you go. Now, if you take your Nintendo Switch 2 and you make an SD card and you rewrite the whole system and you don't need the internet and you could just download the stuff to the SD card and put it in your Switch and you can play all the games you want. Here's the thing, because people say, "Oh, you don't own nothing." You own the right to do that. You could do that. You can do that. You can. You don't need internet. You just use the internet on your computer and dump all the ROMs onto the SD card, and then you put it in your Switch and you play from that, and you can homebrew it. You have the right to do that. That's your console. You could do that. But Nintendo is not going to give you the power to do it with their servers and all that stuff so you can rip the games and stuff like that. That's the difference. So you have the right for all that stuff, but you don't have the right for things. So it is what it is. Boo hoo, move on, live your life.
Essentially, what you're left with is a very expensive, very limited device.
Yeah.
So, what do people do with these bricked or effectively useless systems? Well, it's not
Again, so you try to do shitty shit stuff, it didn't work out. So what do? You pass it on to others. That's why I said be careful of secondhand switches. That the price is just too good to be true.
a new concept, unfortunately. We've seen this play out before with other consoles.
Oh.
Sometimes people will try to
Other consoles, he says. Let us look into the other consoles that did this shit.
return them, trade them in at stores, or even worse, try to pass them off to unsuspecting buyers on the second-hand market. Think back to the Xbox 360 and the infamous Red Ring of Death, or even consoles getting banned from Xbox Live or PlayStation Network due to cheating or other violations.
PlayStation Network, Xbox Live, gambling in Casablanca. Oh my gosh, really? This shit been going on since the 2006, like I've been saying in all my videos. The Wii has been doing bans. The Wii U did bans. It's been going on that I did videos about this. It's not new. But y'all want to make a big fuss about it now. You should have made a fuss about it back then. But back then, consoles being the internet was a new thing, so they didn't really, other than techie guys trying to do it. But outside of that, nobody really cared for that like that. They bought their consoles to play console games. Can you believe it? Are you shocked? Are you surprised? I put in a cartridge that belongs to my Super Nintendo into my Super Nintendo and it works. Hey, hey, like, how about I put a game Genesis cartridge inside the Super Nintendo? It should work, right? No. I bought a Genesis to play Genesis game. I bought a Super Nintendo to play Super Nintendo game. I bought a 64 to play 64 game. I bought a GameCube to play GameCube game. I bought a PlayStation 2 to play PlayStation 2 game. Dreamcast. You get the line. That's what we've been doing all this time. But then we have evil sons of bitches who mess it up for regular gamers, and then you got YouTubers who wanna make money off of this and say, oh, whatever. Because right now, I did a video, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll definitely say if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm not gonna. But I did a video about this YouTuber talking about stuff. And in the comment of that video, the person's like, hey, the video's gone. So you made a video. I made a response to it. I never I never tell anybody to go to anybody's channel and harass them. Even when it was with Amber, I said, guys, do not harass her, do not whatever, because more females different than guys. Guys should have tougher skins. But I don't send nobody to harass. Nobody on my channel should harass anybody. I'm against it 1,000%. But that video is gone. Didn't age well, did it, sir?
People would often try to get rid of these problem consoles. I definitely remember this happening a lot with the Xbox 360. Not just because of hardware failures, but also because people would get banned from Xbox Live or PC often for cheating in games like Call of Duty. And once banned, they'd try to offload those systems. Fast forward to today, and we're seeing similar patterns emerge with the Nintendo Switch 2. People have been sending me screenshots and links to headlines popping up all over the place, likely because of my previous Mig Switch video. Headlines like, the second-hand Nintendo Switch 2 market is already a minefield of bricked consoles.
Yep.
And beware that pre-owned
'Cause of
Nintendo Switch
assholes.
2 you're thinking about buying might already be bricked. Another one even said, warning as some people are returning bricked Nintendo Switch 2 consoles after using MIG cards. Naturally, I dug into this to understand where this information was coming from. And it appears that at least one clear account has emerged, logged in detail on Reddit. A person shared their story of searching for a Nintendo Switch 2. While driving between work sites, they stopped at two different Walmarts. At the second one, they found an open box Nintendo Switch 2 behind the glass counter. When they brought it up, they realized the Mario Kart download code had already been scratched off and used. Walmart, to their credit, knocked off about $50, making it a cheaper system overall. Sounds like a decent deal, right?
No.
Here's where it went wrong. Once they got home and tried to sign into a Nintendo account, they were met with error code 2124-4508. When you look that code up, it unequivocally means the system has been banned. And everyone is now linking this directly to the use of the MIG switch, as it seems to be the primary trigger for Nintendo issuing these console-level bans. Once a system's unique identifier is tied to a ban, that's pretty much it. Nintendo blocks it from signing in and using a huge portion of the system's features, even making it difficult to get through the initial setup process. So this is the current situation. When I checked other stores like Best Buy, most of their open box items were accessories, things that get returned, inspected, and then put back out. But it's incredibly difficult for these retail employees to thoroughly test every returned console for full online functionality, especially for something as specific as whether it can get past a ban screen that would otherwise look like a normal startup. A system might turn on, look perfectly fine, but be unable to access the eShop or connect to Nintendo's servers. This problem isn't just limited to big box stores though. It extends to places like eBay, Craigslist, and even GameStop. Essentially anywhere a system can be traded in, returned, and then resold. If everything looks okay in the box, an unsuspecting buyer could easily end up with a banned system. Imagine someone realizes their console is banned, and they're within their return period. They might think, I wonder if I can just slip this by them? And unfortunately, as we've seen in the past with other console generations, it does happen. To me, it's not entirely shocking that this is occurring. What is a bit surprising is that it's already happening so early in the Nintendo Switch 2's life cycle. Even with the Xbox 360's Red Ring of Death, while some consoles did Red Ring out of the box, it took months before people started figuring out tricks to get them past initial testing for trade-ins, effectively making it the store's problem. So, if you're absolutely set on buying a Nintendo Switch 2 from the second-hand market, and honestly, I'm not sure I can wholeheartedly recommend it right now.
Neither me.
The price difference isn't usually that significant from what I've seen, sometimes only $50 cheaper, and some sellers even try to charge more for open box systems with extra accessories. Here's my strongest recommendation. Before you complete the purchase, you need to verify that the system can access the Nintendo eShop.
Yeah.
If you're at a physical store, you'll need to figure out a way to have them demonstrate this. They should ideally be able to sign in with their own account before doing a factory wipe. If they've already wiped it, I'd suggest having a temporary, throwaway Nintendo account ready. Just set up an account with a temporary email address. This way, you can quickly go through the setup process, sign in, and ensure it gets past that initial online check without any error codes.
Correct.
If you're buying secondhand from a private seller on platforms like Craigslist or Facebook
you're
Marketplace,
screwed.
this should be even easier. You should be able to message them and have them perform this check for you right then and there. They should be
No,
able to show you their own account.
you got to do it in front of me. If that's what he said, okay, but you got to do it in front of me for me to go buy it.
Signed into the eShop, proving it's not banned. On the flip side, if you're someone looking to sell your Nintendo Switch 2, I would highly recommend having proof ready, like an image or a short video, showing your console logged into the eShop. This will undoubtedly become a common question from buyers going forward. It's like having proof that your car has a clean title. It reassures the buyer. Now, do I think this is going to become a widespread minefield, where every second-hand Nintendo Switch 2 is bricked? As one headline suggested, not necessarily.
No.
While the MIG Switch has certainly made headlines, and it's fascinating that Nintendo has found a way to detect it, I don't believe that a massive number of people out there currently own a MIG Switch specifically for the
nobody
Nintendo
cares,
Switch
yeah.
2. However, even if it's not a widespread epidemic yet now, it's absolutely worth being aware of. If you decide to buy a system secondhand from a random listing, or a person you don't really know online, this simple verification step could save you a lot of grief. So,
Yeah. So I'm gonna leave it to that. Shout out again to One Stop Buzz, again, small YouTube channel. Thank you for the info, even though I know this info, but I wanted to put it in a video form so y'all can see it. But the Brazilian thing is not gonna be a problem. It really ain't. Okay? Sorry, it ain't. So this is just YouTubers rage bait and trying to find something. Oh, Nintendo, his greed is happening and blah blah blah. Stop it. Stop it. Just stop it. Alright? Just buy the console for what it is and play the console for what it is. That's all. Not that hard. And a MIG switch, I have no problem with a MIG switch, but the problem I have is just human beings like for everybody else. I would love to say, oh, let me take some of these games and back them up and I could put in my. That would have been awesome. I would enjoy that. But I know people could sell them. I know people, as you said, I could go to my neighbor's house. Hey, let me rent your game. Download all this stuff, give back to him, or rent it from GameFly, and like it's just evil. It's human nature, and it sucks. So again, Florida answered your question, and for me, I don't care. Again, another video that makes it don't care. Sorry. Call me a shelf, whatever, but I'm doing my argument is logical and sound. Again, buy the console for what it is. And if you don't like Nintendo Switch, don't buy it. That's all. Save your money. Save the headache. Go buy yourself. Go buy yourself, as all the other YouTubers say. Go buy yourself a Rogue Ally. Oh, Xbox is coming, a Rogue Ally. Everything will be, yeah. That whole thing might be $600 to $800 because the Rogue Ally ain't cheap. So y'all hit Nintendo about, oh, Nintendo didn't put a price. They didn't put it when they showed off the Rogue Ally, even in Linus's and everybody's video. They didn't have no daggone they call it. They didn't put no prices in there either. So where's the multiple videos from other Nintendo such channels who say Nintendo is a bad company? They're not like Xbox or like Steam and all this stuff or the PC market. Did they say? No, they didn't. They're just looking for crap. So yeah, look. Just buy what you like. Again, if you don't like the Switch or the Switch 2, the price is so expensive. Nintendo, you think Nintendo is greedy, which I don't think so. But if that's your thought and you ain't buying it, no skin off my back, no skin off of your wallet. You ain't got to worry about it. You make at least 2 videos per se to say, but the constant rage baiting of, oh my God, Nintendo just shit in the wrong pan. They're shit in the wrong pan. Let's make a video about that. Oh my God, oh, Nintendo just raised the price by 1 cent. Let's make a video about that. Nintendo raised the price in 1 cent. Oh my God, Nintendo raised the price in Canada. It feels so bad. Hey, Canada, I got a question. Talk to your prime minister and tell him stop being an asshole. Maybe that would help. Just saying. If he wasn't an asshole, then maybe your prices will be a little bit lower. But right now, it's not. That's what it is. That's the easy answer to your problem of raising prices in your own in Canada. All right. Anyway, that's my video. Enjoy your rest of your weekend, guys. Remember, there's no perfect games out there. What's perfect to you is not perfect to me. What's perfect to me is not perfect to you. Simply enjoy your games on all consoles, including PC. Peace out.